Welcome back, and today we're talking about That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, episode 30. And I knew coming into this episode that it was going to be fire, it was going to be action-packed, and I did not expect to see Rimuru fight, and the fight that he's fighting with Hinata was going to be this close. Like, Hinata is definitely giving him a run for his money. I did not expect that at all. I thought this episode was going to focus on Tempest and all the fights that are happening over there, so I was really excited for this episode because once we got to see Rimuru go all out and fight Hinata, it was a pretty awesome fight, and of course the animation was fire. Everything about this episode was really good. Now, there's definitely a couple things I want to talk about because we know in the city of Tempest, essentially everybody took an L. They have that barrier that weakens monsters, so that the monsters had a huge handicap. And then when we see the other holy knights from the church come in and just slaughter people, we had that chew with the blood. You know, a lot of innocent people died, and Rimuru is probably going to be very pissed. This is probably going to be the first time that we are going to see Rimuru actually be like angry, like really angry on a whole new level that we have never seen before. And honestly, even though this might be a little bit out of character for Rimuru, I really hope Rimuru goes to Falmouth, the people that are attacking Tempest, and he just wipes them out of the face of the earth. Like, I really hope he just destroys that nation to kind of show the world, don't mess with Tempest, don't mess with my nation, because there will be hell to pay. Now, before we jump into what happened in this episode, let me remind you to like and subscribe. It definitely helps the channel out, and of course I greatly appreciate it. Now, this episode we got a huge fight between Rimuru and Hinata, and we also got a little bit of connection with Shizu. It turns out that Hinata is one of the people that Shizu wanted wanted Rimuru to help, and this whole fight is kind of like a big misunderstanding, right? Even Rimuru said it. Somebody obviously knows that Rimuru is from Japan, and he reported all of this to the church. It's definitely a big deal. Somebody kind of betrayed Rimuru, and I want to know who it was, right? Because I feel like it's somebody that at the very least is very close to Rimuru, because not a lot of people know that he's from Japan, so he only disclosed that information to like a handful of people. So I'm wondering who it was, if it was a mistake, if it was like a slip off. Who knows who did this, right? But I'm pretty sure Rimuru is going to find out, and I'm sure that person, if there was no ill intent behind it, that person might be forgiven, right? But the fight between Hinata and Rimuru was awesome. Of course, Rimuru being a monster and that barrier being there, he essentially was not able to use all of his skills, and it was like a pretty close fight. I mean, it was going down. Hinata can definitely hold her own. Even when Rimuru summoned Ifrit, which I did not he could do that. I thought Ifrit was just like inside of him forever. I did not think he was able to summon him on command. She was able to essentially try to steal Ifrit from Rimuru because of her skill. Usurper seems like a very OP skill, but her swordsmanship is where it's at, because she's definitely on a whole different level. Her sword essentially can kill anybody because it attacks directly at the spirit, and after like the 7th strike, you're pretty much done. And now the conclusion of the fight, it seems like Rimuru was hit once again after he activated the glutamate skill. And I don't think Rimuru is going to be dead. I mean, let's be serious, right? He's the main character. He's not going to die anytime soon. Maybe at the end of the series, he might die. I doubt it. But as of right now, he is perfectly fine. It's a good cliffhanger, but not really, because we know Rimuru is going to be just fine. He's probably going to win, and once he gets to talk to Hinata and explain the whole situation, because it seems like somebody lied to her, right? It seems that somebody told the church that Rimuru was responsible for killing Shinsu. So it's a big misunderstanding. Once they get down and they start talking and she understands everything that happened, I'm pretty sure Hinata is going to see that the church was manipulating everything, and she's probably gonna be an ally to Rimuru in the long run. I'm probably thinking that's what's going to happen. So I'm not worried about Rimuru. I'm pretty sure when he activated that gluttonous skill, it's going to be absolutely OP, and he's probably going to one-shot Hinata and just, you know, show how powerful he really is. But this is definitely the one fight that we see that Rimuru actually has to try, because in the other fights that he's been in, you know, it's never really been that close. He's never really been that worried. But, you know, counting down those strikes until he died, it was kind of keeping me at the edge of my seat, even though I knew Rimuru was going to be just fine. Now, on Tempest side, we know that all the fights there, they were done quickly. I mean, the monsters, They're very weakened. They took an L. And I felt sorry for Gumta because, I mean, he's getting cut up. And even though Gumta is there to be comedic and stuff like that, I kind of wish he would have been there to save the day. That was not the case. He took the L. I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be fine. I don't think we are going to lose any characters. I mean, they have that OP elixir. They're going to give it to everybody. But I am really worried what's going to happen with Tempest, because as of right now, we saw there was fire everywhere. There was a slaughter. Like, it seems like the whole nation was destroyed, like the whole city was destroyed, and I don't think anybody's gonna be coming in trying to save them anytime soon. Maybe an ally from the humans, from Dwarfgon, I believe, the king. Maybe he knows something is going on and he'll step in and help, but I don't think anybody knows that the nation is being attacked. So it's a big deal. We might actually lose Tempest as a nation for a little bit. I'm sure they are going to rebuild, but it's gonna be a big impact, right? Like, they're definitely losing a lot of people, and Rimuru is not going to be happy once he finds out. So I'm really curious what's going to happen, and I'm hoping that it's a full-on war. I mean, can you imagine if this season 2 is gonna be a war against the Tempest Nation, Rimuru versus the people of Falmouth and stuff like that? It's gonna be pretty good, especially since we have another nation that's going to war with Milim. I'm sure we are going to explore that later on. Overall, this episode was truly fire. The animation, of course, was there. The fight between Rimuru and Hinata, absolutely great. I can't wait for them to sit down and talk, because it's definitely a big misunderstanding. And we'll see where it goes. But let me know in the comments, what was your favorite part of the episode? And like always, make sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode.